This episode of HTM Tech is brought to you by Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy offers a wide range of products including energy drinks and dietary supplements containing zero sugar, 0 to 5 calories, B vitamins, gluten-free, soy-free, and 100% vegan. Rogue Energy products are a great alternative to those corner store energy drinks that are loaded with sugar and cause you to crash soon after. Head over to rogueenergy.com where viewers of HTM Tech can get 10% off any order placed. Not just your first order, but any time you order. Just use offer code HTM Tech at the checkout to get your discount on one of the hottest energy drink brands on the market. Hey, don't take our word for it. Try it for yourself today.
Hey guys, Joe the Tech Guy back here with another episode this week. For those of you new to the channel, thank you for tuning in. For those of you who are returning, thanks for coming back. Make sure you hit like and subscribe so you can be notified every single time there is a new episode here on HTM Tech. This week, I have something pretty special here. This is a product that I didn't expect to get, let alone do a review on, so this is pretty cool. We are talking about the PlayStation Portal. So, first thing I want to kind of get to here is some of the pros and the cons. So right off the hop. So usually I will kind of do the good stuff first and leave the bad stuff for a second. Let's get kind of some of the negative stuff out of the way right off the hop here. One of the big things about this that anybody looking to purchase this product needs to know right off the hop is that to use this you need to have PlayStation 5. This is a remote play device, so without the actual console, there's no reason to own this device. To be completely honest and blunt with everybody out there, anybody looking for a PlayStation Portal, if you do not own a PS5, there's just no reason to buy this. The other big con with this thing, this is something that even Apple doesn't kind of pull this kind of crap. They did not include the ability to use wireless headphones other than their own proprietary ones called the Pulse wireless earbuds that use something called PlayStation Link. This is such a bizarre just choice in this device. Everything has Bluetooth. You know, our phones, our tablets, computers, even some TVs now have Bluetooth. This is relatively cheap technology to include in your device, and I do not understand why Sony went in this direction. I understand to a certain extent that they want to kind of have their own kind of ecosystem of things. Apple does that, Samsung does that. You can still have that kind of ecosystem and integration and still use Bluetooth. Why they had to do their own kind of proprietary wireless headphone technology here is such a bizarre choice. Yeah, it's ultra low latency and lossless audio, but in this kind of thing, like really good quality, I mean, you could use these. If you have higher quality lossless wireless headphones that use Bluetooth, you could have used it on this. I don't understand why Sony went this direction. I love Sony, I love their products, but this was a bizarre choice to make right off the hop. Okay, that's it with the negative stuff here. Having said all that, the first thing when you use this device, when you hold it in your hands, it does not feel cheap. This feels like a premium product. To really kind of simplify it for you guys, it feels like a big DualSense controller that you get the PS5 with a screen smashed in the middle. That's what it feels like. And what it does extremely well. You know, with all its pitfalls to it, when it comes to streaming games, it does it extremely well. A couple of the things that I forgot to mention and need to mention at all, when it comes to connectivity, this is very important because you're using this on the go. But even in their marketing material, even on the box, mentions that their real intention for this is for you to use it on your home network. So that means is on the same network that the PlayStation 5 is sitting on. They say that's optimal way that this is going to work. You know what? I'll even do this live on the video. I'm going to do this in real time. This may or may not work out well. So I'm going to turn this on, hit the PlayStation button, and we're going to connect remotely to the console, and we're going to see how long it takes. So I am on the same home network as my PS5 right now, and we're going to see how long this kind of takes here. So we are connecting. It should be fast, but I may end up eating my words. But so far, it's been really, really good. There we go. You see the little Doctor Strange kind of circle thing, and we are on. And here I'm going to move so that we don't kind of get any copyright issues there. So yeah, that quickly on the home network to get onto the home screen to start using this puppy. That was, I think, maybe about 10 or 15 seconds approximately. Really, really good. Having said that, when you go into the wild with this kind of thing, any public Wi-Fi hotspots or what have you that require you to agree to something, like to do something through the browser first before you connect, yeah, you're not going to be able to do that on this one. You need to be able to connect to a Wi-Fi network that either is not password protected or only requires you to put in a password. If it requires some other kind of authentication or to go through any kind of web browser first, you're not going to be able to do it. This is something that they need, so you need to add this functionality into it. Even if it's connecting through a browser, remotely through the console, find some way to resolve this kind of issue. Otherwise, there are a lot of public Wi-Fi hotspots that require you to agree to some kind of disclaimer or notification or something first before you connect to the network. Right now in this, you cannot do so for like McDonald's, anything like that. It's a no-go for this one. So, again, another bit of a downside. But like I said, what this thing does, it does extremely well. I've tested a lot of games at home, coffee shops, other cities. As long as you have a really good solid connection. I mean, I even tried some pretty intensive games like Returnal, Helldivers, Ratchet and Clank, where there's a lot kind of going on screen, some high frame rate stuff. It does extremely well. There's the occasional little hiccup kind of here and there. But I mean, that's to be expected when you're connecting wirelessly and streaming and whatnot. So, like I said, what it does extremely well. I'm with its downsides, I'm very impressed that what it does it very capably, especially when we on a previous video comparing it to this little thing. When you even just put these two side by side and you go back and forth, I mean, this feels like dollar store garbage in comparison to the PlayStation Portal. It's a device that I was skeptical of first. I was, to be perfectly honest, this was not something that was on my radar until I met up with a representative from Sony and got to hold it in my hands and actually try. I think it was the God of War Ragnarok game, and I was like, okay, I get it. I'm interested in this device now. You know, even with its limitations, very impressed. And this is something that I was even considering, like getting in and trying it and then see if I'm going to keep it. This is something that's going to be very much a keep. Where I think it's really going to shine is, let's say, if you don't necessarily want to be sitting in front of your TV, you want to sit on the front porch. If you want to just sit in your rec room or your man cave or what have you, what is that you have, but you don't really want to sit at the TV or somebody else is using the TV. Right? As long as they're not using the PlayStation 5, you can remote play into this thing and play your PlayStation 5 and PS4 games as well. So, yeah, guys, I was highly impressed. It does have some major downsides, but I think that the positives kind of trump that, so to speak, because it streams and it streams extremely well. They claim, I think, as long as you have like a 5 megabyte down connection, that this will perform well. I question those numbers. I think you're going to need a little bit of a better connection than that, but I think most people, as long as you're getting triple digit megabytes down per second, you're going to be doing just fine with this one. You'll notice little bits of lag here, but not enough to ruin the experience for you guys. So again, if you own a PS5 and you want to be able to not have to always sit in front of your TV to play it, and you've used something like this and have not been impressed, PlayStation Portal is what you're looking for. Highly, highly recommend it, guys. All right, before I go here, there's a couple of things I want to kind of get to. I've done some tech tips and whatnot in the past, And I think that I want to hit on a few things here that have kind of come up here. A few people have been telling me about this issue. I don't know if this has been something that's been going on for a while, or if this is just a recent issue, if updates have kind of caused this problem. People printing specifically from iPads and iPhones to printers. And what's essentially happening here is it's not centering properly on the page. It's essentially starting like about a quarter of the way down the page and then kind of cutting off the bottom. Looking into this prior to this episode, I haven't found much. I'm still working on this. What I may end up doing is just kind of reaching out to Apple directly to see if this is like a known issue or if there's some kind of workaround for this kind of thing to see about getting that fixed, because it is something that I've noticed as well, and it's frustrating. It doesn't seem to happen on the Mac or the iMac, so it seems to be an iOS issue, or if it's a print issue, or maybe it's just something that we're all missing. But it's something I gotta look into and find out. Also, a question that I do get occasionally asked when it comes to game consoles: should I put it vertically or horizontally? You see this more with like the Xbox and then the PlayStation. With the Switch and whatnot, it's not really an issue. It really depends on what space you have available. Honestly, either vertical or horizontal, you shouldn't run into any issues. I think horizontal, there's less chance of it like toppling over and potentially damaging things. The more important thing, though, is making sure that you don't have it like tucked away like in an entertainment unit where it's like completely surrounded by glass or anything like that. You want to have lots of adequate space there to allow the system to cool. Otherwise, you will run into some issues. So more important that you have lots of open space around it. Horizontal or vertical, not really a huge deal. You can dealer's choice on that one. And as somebody who does work in the electronics business, I get asked a lot, because tablets are becoming a lot more capable. This could turn into like a full-fledged topic at some point. Is a tablet a suitable replacement for a laptop? That's a tough question to ask, because it really depends on what you want to do with the device. If you're just looking to do basic web browsing, banking, a little bit of like casual gaming and whatnot, you can't really go wrong with either or. If you are somebody that's kind of more on the go, if you like to sit on the porch, if you like to go to coffee shops, or if you're somebody who travels back and forth for work, you might find that like a tablet would be something that's more useful. If you're sitting at a desk the majority of the time, a laptop might be something more kind of what you're looking for, and you have a lot of choices there too. You have Chromebooks, you have Windows laptops, you have Macs. It's really going to depend on what you want to do with that device. That's really going to kind of justify that buying decision there. So it really depends. It's not a cut and dry answer for everybody. It really hinges on what you want to use the device for, and that's where I'm asking someone who's very knowledgeable, and they can ask the right questions and they can steer you in the right direction for what you're looking for there. So yeah, hopefully those are some tips and questions that I've been asked recently. Hopefully that kind of clears some of that stuff out there for you guys. But if you do have any other suggestions, any tips, any tech issues you're having, let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to answer those for you. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one where we talk about how tech matters. HTM Tech is brought to you by Microplay, located at 265 King George Road in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, for all of your video game and collectible needs.